But I had to figure, I'm like, okay, I have to figure out my space in this.
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things and, and seeing things on the blogs and, I'm just...
The drama surrounding Jay-Z's legal troubles has everyone talking, and it's no surprise why. With allegations piling up, connections to other high-profile figures, and rumors of behind-the-scenes schemes, this situation is starting to look like something out of a Hollywood thriller. But what's really turning heads is the unexpected name that could play a pivotal role in these unfolding events: R. Kelly. Yes, you heard that right. The disgraced R&B singer, currently serving time for his own long list of transgressions, is now being whispered about as a potential key witness in the legal maelstrom engulfing Jay-Z. R. Kelly. But how did we even get here? Let's break it all down.
That's life. Everything is life. It happens for you. Everything is for your greatest good.
To understand why R. Kelly's name is being tossed around in connection with Jay-Z's current woes, we need to rewind to the early 2000s, back when the two artists were collaborating on what should have been a groundbreaking project. The music world was buzzing with excitement when Jay-Z and R. Kelly teamed up for their joint album, The Best of Both Worlds. On paper, it was a match made in heaven. Hip-hop royalty meets R&B genius. But behind the scenes, things were anything but harmonious.
You feel that people have maligned your character?
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
How stupid would it be for R. Kelly with all I've been through in my way, way past?
As insiders later revealed, tensions between the two stars were simmering even during the recording sessions. Jay-Z, known for his meticulous approach to business and music, reportedly grew frustrated with R. Kelly's erratic behavior and lack of professionalism. Meanwhile, R. Kelly allegedly felt overshadowed and sidelined by Jay-Z's domineering presence. Their personalities were like oil and water. Jay-Z was all about precision and control, while R. Kelly thrived in chaos and spontaneity. The clashing egos set the stage for what would eventually become one of the most infamous feuds in music history.
He talked about that, and then he just said how much conflict they was experiencing.
But the real drama began to unfold during their ill-fated Best of Both Worlds tour. From the very start, the tour was plagued by issues. R. Kelly reportedly showed up late to rehearsals or skipped them altogether, and there were constant complaints about the production. Things reached a boiling point during a show at Madison Square Garden, where R. Kelly abruptly left the stage, claiming he saw someone in the audience threatening him. What happened next was the stuff of tabloid headlines. As R. Kelly tried to return to the stage, he was pepper sprayed by a member of Jay-Z's entourage. The fallout was immediate and brutal. R. Kelly was dropped from the tour, lawsuits were filed on both sides, and the partnership imploded in spectacular fashion. Fast forward to today, and that messy history is starting to look like more than just a clash of egos. Some are speculating that the bad blood between Jay-Z and R. Kelly might have deeper roots that could now resurface as the legal spotlight intensifies on Jay-Z. R. Kelly, who's been embroiled in his own legal battles for years, has nothing to lose at this point. Could he leverage his past interactions with Jay-Z to strike a deal or settle old scores? The possibility has tongues wagging, especially given the whispers that R. Kelly might have dirt on Jay-Z that's never been made public.
Like the days before the event, he was getting threats that he felt like was coming from Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z was trying to basically...
And let's not forget the timing. The allegations against Jay-Z are unfolding in the shadow of the explosive legal case against Diddy, another music mogul who's been accused of heinous behavior spanning decades. Diddy's situation has already exposed a darker side of the entertainment industry, with allegations of manipulation, exploitation, and worse at his infamous parties. These claims have sent shockwaves through the industry, and many are wondering if Jay-Z could be the next domino to fall. After all, the ties between these two men run deep. They've collaborated on music, attended the same events, and moved in the same elite circles for years. If Diddy's case opens the floodgates, who's to say Jay-Z won't be swept up in the tide?
It may sound outrageous, but he felt like Jay-Z wanted to get him for whatever.
But where does R. Kelly fit into all of this? For starters, his history with Jay-Z is riddled with tension and controversy, making him a wild card in this unfolding saga. Some insiders believe R. Kelly might be willing to testify or provide information that could bolster the cases against Jay-Z, especially if it serves his own interests. After all, R. Kelly has a long history of alleged misconduct that overlaps with some of the same circles Jay-Z has moved in. Could he have been a witness to or even a participant in incidents that are now coming under scrutiny? It's a chilling thought, but one that's hard to ignore given the tangled web of connections in this story.
R. Kelly was saying that Jay-Z funded his downfall plus the documentary.
And then there's the matter of credibility. R. Kelly's reputation is, to put it mildly, in tatters. His convictions have made him one of the most reviled figures in music. But in the world of legal battles, even a disgraced figure like R. Kelly can be a valuable asset if he has information that corroborates other claims or fills in gaps in the narrative. If he were to come forward with details about Jay-Z's alleged behavior, it could tip the scales in ways we can't yet predict.
Attorneys for disgraced Chicago musician R. Kelly have filed a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court to review his conviction for federal crimes.
Of course, this is all speculation for now. There's no hard evidence that R. Kelly is poised to take the stand against Jay-Z, or that he even has information relevant to the current allegations. But the mere possibility is enough to send shockwaves through the entertainment industry. After all, this isn't just about one man's legal troubles. It's about the broader culture of secrecy and complicity that's allowed powerful figures to operate with impunity for so long.
R&B star R. Kelly is fighting to overturn his conviction that sent him to prison for 30 years. His attorneys argue federal prosecutors in Brooklyn failed to prove Kelly's acts were part of a criminal enterprise.
And speaking of secrecy, let's not overlook the role of Roc Nation in all of this. Jay-Z's entertainment empire has been a juggernaut in the music industry, but it's also been accused of using its influence to silence critics and control narratives. The leaked voicemails and allegations of coercion and bribery tied to Roc Nation are painting a picture of an organization willing to go to extreme lengths to protect its founder. If these claims are true, it raises serious questions about the lengths to which Jay-Z's team will go to shield him from scrutiny.
We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations.
As the legal battles continue to unfold, one thing is clear: the stakes couldn't be higher. Jay-Z has built an empire on his image as a savvy businessman and cultural icon. But that image is now under threat. Whether it's R. Kelly, Diddy, or the growing list of accusers, the walls seem to be closing in. And while Jay-Z has denied all wrongdoing and vowed to fight these allegations, the court of public opinion is already weighing in, and the verdict isn't looking good. What makes this situation even more explosive is the sheer number of moving parts. It's not just about Jay-Z and R. Kelly's fraught history or the allegations against Diddy. It's about the broader implications for an industry that's long been criticized for its culture of exploitation. If these cases lead to more revelations or even more accusers coming forward, it could spark a reckoning that changes the industry forever.
Arguably, the defense's biggest asset in this case was the complexity and arguably the awkwardness of applying federal racketeering charges to a person who now is convicted of using his business in order to satisfy his urges. It's not the traditional application of racketeering law. Normally, that's been applied to mafia-type defendants.
But for now, all eyes are on Jay-Z and the swirling rumors about what's next. Will R. Kelly's name resurface in a way that shifts the narrative? Will more ties to Diddy's scandal come to light? And most importantly, will the truth finally come out, no matter how messy or uncomfortable it may be? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over, and the next chapter is shaping up to be even more explosive than the last.
What they experienced at his hands, or the threats and harassment they faced in telling the truth about what happened to them. We hope that today's verdict brings some measure of comfort and closure to the victims.
The deeper you dive into the tangled web of Jay-Z's controversies, the messier it gets. If you thought the first half of this story was wild, buckle up, because now we're stepping into the murkier waters of the accusations against him, his alleged connections to shady dealings, and the whispers about those closest to him. This isn't just about lawsuits and celebrity feuds. It's about a legacy potentially crumbling under the weight of secrets, scandals, and betrayals. And the more you peel back the layers, the harder it is to tell where the truth ends and the rumors begin.
This conviction is the latest in a long line of prosecutions by this office to protect women and vulnerable minors from predators.
Let's start with the most chilling claims, those revolving around Jay-Z's alleged misconduct, which has dragged in names like Foxy Brown and sparked whispers about unspeakable behavior. For years, rumors have swirled about his relationship with Foxy, who was just a teenager when she came onto the scene as Rockefeller's first lady. Their collaborations were electric, but behind the music, there were always questions. People whispered about whether their relationship went beyond the studio and into morally questionable territory. Foxy herself has never publicly confirmed these allegations, but there are enough breadcrumbs to keep the speculation alive.
She is, I mean, just her name alone just defines greatness, right? You know, like just her.
Back in 2019, Dame Dash, Jay-Z's former business partner, was asked about the situation during an interview with Nick Cannon. When pressed on whether Jay-Z's relationship with Foxy was inappropriate given her young age, Dash dodged the question, saying, "I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown. I didn't sign Foxy Brown." His deflection only added fuel to the fire, making people wonder what he might know but wasn't willing to say. Wendy Williams, never one to shy away from controversy, once hinted that Foxy and Jay-Z were romantically involved before Beyonce entered the picture. "She hit it before Beyonce," Wendy said during her show, laughing at the audience's gasps. Whether this is true or just another layer of gossip, it's one of those stories that refuses to fade away.
You see, there's no artist, let me be clear, there's no artist in this industry that's doing major numbers with these platforms that haven't sold their soul.
And speaking of Beyonce, her role in all of this raises even more questions. For years, she's been seen as Jay-Z's equal, his partner in building an empire that spans music, fashion, and business. But some are now wondering if Beyonce is more than just a bystander in this saga. Could she be an accomplice in keeping certain truths hidden? Or is she, as some have speculated, trapped in a relationship that's more about business than love?
This is what I look for. When I see a success, I'm looking for anything
to say that they didn't do it on their own?
Detain it, not to say
There's a growing conversation about the power dynamics in Jay-Z and Beyonce's marriage. They first started dating when she was just 18, fresh off her rise to fame with Destiny's Child. Jay-Z at that time was already in his 30s and a seasoned veteran in the industry. Critics have pointed out the glaring imbalance in experience, influence, and age, suggesting that Beyonce may have been groomed into a role that suited Jay-Z's larger ambitions. Jaguar Wright, a former collaborator turned outspoken critic of the Carters, has claimed that Beyonce is being controlled and manipulated by her husband. "She's a prisoner in a gilded cage," Wright said in a viral video, sparking a wave of speculation about what might really go on behind closed doors.
You can be in love with someone, you can love someone and you're not. And if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're gonna have complications.
It's not just outsiders making these claims. Beyonce's own music has hinted at the cracks in their seemingly perfect relationship. From the confessions in her Lemonade album to Jay-Z's own admissions of infidelity on 444, their art has painted a picture of a union that's far more complex than the polished image they present to the public. But even as they've worked through personal issues in the spotlight, the question remains: how much of their relationship is real, and how much is a carefully crafted narrative to protect their joint empire?
Celebrity couple, we were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to be celebrities.
That's beautiful.
Like real people.
Yeah.
Then there's the matter of Diddy. Jay-Z and Diddy have long been seen as two sides of the same coin, powerful figures who've shaped the music industry and pushed the boundaries of what it means to be a hip-hop mogul. But with Diddy now facing his own avalanche of allegations, people are starting to wonder how much the two men might have in common behind the scenes. Diddy's infamous parties, described by some as cesspools of debauchery and exploitation, have become a focal point in his legal battles. And while Jay-Z hasn't been directly linked to these events, the parallels between their careers and lifestyles are hard to ignore.
After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right?
There's also the question of whether Diddy's downfall could pave the way for Jay-Z's. The two have often been compared in terms of their business ventures and influence, but with Diddy's reputation now in tatters, some are predicting a ripple effect that could reach Jay-Z. After all, the entertainment industry is built on connections, and when one domino falls, it's only a matter of time before others follow. If even a fraction of the allegations against Jay-Z are proven true, it could signal the end of his reign as one of music's untouchable figures. But let's not forget the most damning part of this story, the broader implications of the allegations against Jay-Z. If the claims are true, they point to a pattern of behavior that's not just unethical but deeply troubling. And it's not just about Jay-Z, it's about the culture of silence and complicity that's allowed powerful men in the industry to operate with impunity for decades.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious past.
One of the most shocking aspects of this culture is the way it's been normalized. Take, for example, the allegations surrounding Aaliyah and her relationships with older men in the industry. While much of the focus has been on her connection to R. Kelly, there have also been whispers about her ties to Jay-Z. Dame Dash, who dated Aaliyah before her untimely passing, has claimed that both he and Jay-Z were enamored with her, but he was the one who ultimately won her heart. In a 2019 interview, Dash said, "Everybody was trying to get to Aaliyah, it wasn't just Jay." These comments have led some to speculate that Jay-Z's interest in Aaliyah might have gone beyond professional admiration, further complicating his already murky legacy. And then there's the shadow of the illuminati, which has long loomed over Jay-Z's career. While many dismiss these theories as baseless conspiracy nonsense, they persist nonetheless, fueled by his frequent use of occult imagery in his music and branding. From the triangle hand sign to the references to secret societies, Jay-Z has leaned into the mystique, whether as a marketing ploy or something deeper. Some conspiracy theorists even claim that Aaliyah's tragic passing was orchestrated to make way for Beyonce, allowing her to rise as the new queen of R&B. While there's no concrete evidence to support these claims, they add another layer of intrigue to an already complex story. As for what happens next, it's anyone's guess. With more accusers reportedly preparing to come forward and legal battles brewing on multiple fronts, Jay-Z is facing a storm that could reshape not only his career, but the entire entertainment industry. The question now is whether he can weather it or if this is the beginning of the end for one of music's most iconic figures. For now, the public is left to sift through the rumors, accusations, and half-truths, trying to make sense of a story that seems to grow more convoluted by the day. And as more details come to light, one thing is clear. The world will be watching every twist and turn, waiting to see if the man who once declared himself not a businessman, but a business man, can survive the biggest challenge of his career. Whatever happens, one thing is certain. This story is far from over, and the fallout is just beginning.
And that's the sad part, because whether it's a real lawsuit or something that you're just shooting to see if you can get some money, you can sue anybody for anything. But the sad thing about it is if the person loses their suing, nothing happens.
As the drama surrounding Jay-Z continues to unfold, the questions only multiply. Could R. Kelly's potential testimony truly shake the foundations of Jay-Z's empire? And how deep do the ties between Jay-Z, Diddy, and others in the industry really go? The comments section is open and the viewers are eager to hear your thoughts. Could the allegations against Jay-Z signal a broader reckoning in the entertainment industry? Or is this just another storm that will eventually blow over? Share your insights and let the discussion begin. Until next time, stay tuned for more celebrity gossip and intrigue. Goodbye for now.